Good afternoon, everybody. How you all doing? Hope you're doing good. Looks like I've got connection issues going on for a little bit there. And I've got video card issues. Anyway, hope you're all doing well. We're back into Farming Simulator 19. Carrying on. Now, I've apparently got Patrio with me, but I can't currently hear him. I don't know if he's ducked off somewhere or not, or he's in the wrong page too. Let me just sort that out. Let's just stop that for a moment. In case there's something on there he shouldn't see. So I'm carrying on where I left off yesterday for the moment till I hear from Patrio. He's obviously doing something. I have no clue what. Smudo, haven't heard a word. So he's probably 9 eyes at the moment. Counting his Z's. Z's. Anything you want to say? Oh, no, I'm not. I'm not muted at all, mate. According to the Discord overlay, I'm not muted, and I highlight up when I talk. Yeah, I did hear you say hello before. It was very, very quiet, Patrio. Just heard you like a voice from above. I'll just check my Discord settings in a second, buddy. And my voice meter settings. And I'll wait for you to synchronize in, unless you're already here. No, not yet. Let me just alt tab out there. Let's go to the old Discord. And under voice and video, mind you, my Discord's been a bit silly. That's all correct. That's all correct. Everything's good there. Let's go down to you. I haven't muted you or anything. Let's go to voice meter. There we go. As it likes to be. I sent an update for it, I think. Oh, maybe I haven't, actually. What did I send an update for? Okay, yeah, hang on, I'll sort that out for you. I forgot about that. I'll put that in the info side of things. Upload a file. It's the... Yeah. No, it's because I'll tell you what I did in a second. There it is. I altered it. Oh, it's too big. I have to put that into Google Drive. Meanwhile, bales are probably rolling off the field all over the place. What do I need to do? I need to open up Explorer. That would be a good idea. Good start. And downloads. No, not downloads. Sorry, documents. And my games. Farming Simulator. Mods. Home, where is it? Take a copy of that. And scroll all the way down to there. Paste. I'll wait for that to upload. Hopefully it shouldn't take long. Yeah, so we had, I noticed that OBS was telling me there was a bit of a Discord, OBS was having a bit of an issue for a second there. I have also a problem with my video card, which I can't seem to fix. Now, my video card currently is set to 1875 megahertz max. and it likes to go all the way up to about 2000. Now, I did have Afterburner, which it sort of did its thing because it's supposed to be the best for that. And let me see, it's synced, right? Let me get a link for that. And it sort of overclocked it to about that much. 20 megahertz is what it overclocked to. But I since got rid of that, even reloaded Windows and everything else like that. But my video card has decided that it's a good idea to keep going with that. Hence the problem is I have a power issue. It sort of bottlenecks it. So there we go. Let me know when you've downloaded that, Patrio. So we'll get into it in a second while we sort these bits and pieces out. I totally forgot about this. That was my fault. So yeah, that might be the cause of the reason why I ended up having a PC crash. I don't know. I mean, I mainly noticed it on... What did I notice it on? Call of Duty Black Ops, because I have it up. There's an option in Black Ops which will bring it up. Certain things, certain sensors, including your GP core, and it was doing it on that. But I've just noticed now it's doing the same. I started up. It starts at 1845, which is the sort of base for my card, and then yeah, goes from there. And then the fan kicks in recently too. Today I also noticed it kicked right in, and I've got a thing here that tells me right at the moment I'm on 1965 megahertz. My GPU temperature is 60 degrees, but my hotspot is 71. Currently, and my fans, both of my fans are going. I've actually got 3 fans, but this only shows me the 2. When I alt tab out, that's when the issue arises. Now, I've tried all sorts to fix it, and I can't seem to fix it. Short of pulling out the card and putting it back in, see if that'll refresh the cache or anything like that. G'day, Mike. How are you, bud? Have you downloaded it? Okay, so I can move that into there while I'm thinking about it, and I'm here. Right, that's done. Let me just pin that as well. I'm thinking about it. Right, let me bring that back up. Let me bring this back up. Let me bring... Oh, hang on, before I do that. You're up and ready to go, I take it? Yes, you are. And, okay, let me bring that back up, And let me jump back into the game. I've probably got to go around and find all these bales all over the place. Anyway, and there we go, the connection has gone down again, so interesting. So I could end up being dropped off and reconnecting by the looks of it. I've just noticed that the old OBS tells you what the connection's like, and it's well, it's just a graph, but it's not a thing that shows you anything. It just changes colour. Sort of an icon. So I've got green for good, and yellow for not so good, and red for oh, watch out. And it's gone to the red a couple of times so far. So, hey, you know what? I had a pretty much a smooth one yesterday, and today, obviously, not so much. Well, actually, no, what it might be my card, actually, because that's graph for all the 3 things I got there, which is the CPU, the frames per second, any drop frames or skip frames, and the bit rate, and the bit rate's actually fine. So I'm guessing this has got something to do with my video card. So hopefully I can somehow fix it. I have actually emailed ASUS yesterday to ask for their assistance. I'll have to wait to hear back from them as to what I can do. But and the problem is too, when I did do Afterburner, it would have adjusted the power flow to the card as it went up in clock, but because at the moment it's just deciding to overclock itself, but it's still stuck on the maximum power allowed as it goes through, and that's what the problem is. There's not enough power supplying the card for running at that megahertz. So you probably need something to do, don't you? Well, I mean, if you want to, you can jump into the baler and take over. Actually, no, there's a Fent. The Fent 150 has completed its job. If you want to go up to that one, there'll be a courseplay that's not working at the moment. Obviously, reach the end. You can drive that back home. Yeah, so yeah, I don't know where Mr. Smudo is today, but like I said, he's probably still asleep, couldn't even get up. I think he didn't mention anything, so he planned to be here, but he's probably sleeping in. I think he got his second shot for COVID. Maybe they put too much COVID in it. Really wish I could sort this thing out, and it's got worse over the last couple of days actually, this megahertz thing. I think that's what I'm going to have to do. Straight after the stream is shut the PC down and pull out my video card and yeah, put it back in, see what happens, see if it fixes the issue. No, I've tried Afterburner and everything, it still does it. Because I decided to get rid of Afterburner, and I'm pretty sure I reloaded Windows after that, so it was all done on a clean thing, and I haven't put Afterburner back on, and I noticed it started doing it. And I've always had a bit of suspicion about GP. I've got Asus GP Tweak 2, whatever it's called, and I've been a bit suspicious about that software with my card. I used to run it with my other card and it was fine, but with this card I'm not so sure. So I put Afterburner back on, thinking it might have been a residual thing from Afterburner, and reset Afterburner and everything. Haven't done the overclocking thing, and even with Afterburner and control, it still does it. It turns itself to. I got on Afterburner. You got the memory, the GPU clock. And at 0 it's 1845 megahertz, and then I'll put it to plus 30 to 1875, which is the overclocking megahertz for the GPU tweak, and the power is standard plus 100, and when it goes on GPU tweak, when it goes to the 1875 it goes plus 107, so I did that as well, so that was all good. And what it did is I noticed that when it decided to go up in the megahertz, it changed it from that being plus 30 on the megahertz to a curve, which was what it was on when it was overclocked. So I don't know if it's written something into the GPU itself. I wouldn't have thought so, but you just never know. Go back, go back, go back, go back, go back, quick, 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 quick. So yeah, I don't know. Well, it's currently sitting at 1965 megahertz, and the fans are going mad tack. Well, simple way, Mike, actually, in terms you would understand, it's like replacing a four-cylinder in your car, replacing your four-cylinder engine with a V8 engine, but keeping the radiator the same size. It's just not going to cut the mustard and start overheating because it's not going to keep it cool enough. But it's sort of the same thing. I'm putting too much power through. Well, I'm not. Something is. Yeah. And it can't keep up with it. So it's a bit of a disappointment. I spent a lot of time last night trying to fix this, trying to sort it out. The only thing I haven't done is maybe try overclocking again, and after it's done the overclock, reset it. And maybe it write it in that way. Well, it's one thing I might try, actually, before I take the GPU out. Which leaves me in a slight bind. Well, it is Monday, I suppose I'll be alright. So we're getting up to almost going to bed time. So the other one's finished now. Patrio as well, by the looks of it. Hey Dave, yeah, I'm on tonight. Why? Why would you think I wouldn't be? It is water cooled, mate. But I'll sort of use an analogy. It's got nothing to do with the heat, because I've got the fans. I've got 3 fans that come with the card. My video card's not water cooled, the CPU is. So I can handle that. The problem is actually probably a better way is putting it is it's like trying to drive 60 mile an hour in your car, but your car can only provide enough petrol for you to go at 40 mile an hour. Yeah, those people, it's because they can't afford a PC. That's my guess. PCs are awesome. As long as you get the proper brands and stuff for your components. If you go cheap, that's where you're going to have issues. Wrong button. No, that didn't make a difference either. Yeah, so those are my 2 options. I'm going to have to overclock it again with the afterburner and then try and reset the settings. So it sets that as a setting, then reset the settings. Oh, actually there is an option to revert in the overclocking thing. Maybe I should do that, because that might, like I said, might be the issue. For I'm sort of in the back of my mind thinking I might have heard something about that with afterburner doing that to cards. So maybe because it was running when I reset the redid Windows, it's just stuck in the card and it was running the overclocks thing. So maybe if I do the overclock and then hit revert, that might do it. I wonder if I can do that without doing the overclock. Maybe if I just hit revert, it will revert it back. Yeah, I suppose so. Well, obviously it does, because it does, yeah, of course, how else are you going to get it to up the megahertz of all the stuff and everything, so yeah, maybe that. Maybe the option could be as easy as that. No, I mean, the engine's not providing enough gas to make the engine work hard enough to get to 60 mile an hour. Not how much you got in your tank, like. It's like having blocked injectors. So the engine doesn't get the amount of gas it needs because the block injector's stopping it from getting the gas. Is that better? So even though your car can reach 60 mile an hour, it's struggling and having problems and everything like that, and it will actually cause your car to overheat. No, they make gas, actually. Well, they don't really. You did right, they don't. I thought I had an answer to that one, but I don't. Petrol goes in. It's the fumes that combust. So petrol's a liquid, by the way. It's gas that combusts the fumes. Right, that's finished. That means the contract's hopefully finished. Well, it won't be until I actually deliver the fermented bales. Right, you can go back to the boo. Actually, I don't have a thing here for the boo, so I'll drive this up to the boo. Come back and get the big M. Or you can grab the big M if you want, Patrio, if you've gotten back yet. Whoever gets back first. Oh, okay, Dave. Yeah, if you've... What, have you gone back an hour? Or whatever it is for daylight savings. Or the loss of daylight savings. Because it's currently 2:24 here. I did start at 2 as usual. Unless we've sort of gone into daylight savings. Oh, well, there we go. No, I started at 2 as usual. I better make sure that's still on work mode. Yeah, it is. Yeah, well, okay, yeah. Dave's just losing the plot, I think. It started normal time. Unless your notification from Twitch came very, very late. Join the club, mate. Don't worry, it only gets worse from here. So, Mr. Patrio, I suppose I better explain why there was a change to the Homer thing, the headers. Well, hang on, no, they shouldn't have changed. Yeah, think about it, they shouldn't have changed at all. Oh, unless I got rid of the multi-fruit off them, which is quite possible. I might have done that. No, you didn't get a notification. Okay. There's Twitch for you. Always twitchy. Yeah, well, maybe that's the reason why, Patrio, is because I might have got rid of the multi-fruit off that header for the cotton one of Stevie's. I'll get you up to date. Now, let's see. In the other save that we were playing around with to see if I was going to, you know, everything was running okay. He ended up buying a field right next to us, actually, that had carrot on it, or onion, one of the two. It had onion on it, and I for some reason thought it was carrot because they had green tops to it. So I went and got the Stevie cotton T4 Pterodos one. He's the one he did for the cotton, and the multi-fruit header that I adjusted for it, and tried it out, and it didn't work. I was really upset, and then I thought, well, maybe it's because the crops are wet, and it's not saying that, but maybe it's got something to do with me changing it, something like that, or the crop type saying that you can't harvest when it's wet. So I waited to dry out, and then it did that, and then I was like, oh, okay, fine. So I went and found a harvester, pretty much the same Pterodos T4, whatever it is, the TS4, whatever, you know the one. You'll know the one I'm talking about if you play this game. And found that had the ability to do all the crops except for rice. Rice is the only one we can't harvest on this map because I haven't found a thing for that as of yet. And so we've got the red cabbage, carrots and onion, and the separate headers for that. And so I grabbed that and I bought a carrot one, and I bought one of the Pterodos things, that the Pterodos that came with that mod. And I brought it up here, and it still wouldn't work. I was like, oh no, really? Oh well, we can't do this. And then I realised I actually just looked at the right hand side with the field info, and it said onion, not carrot. So I bought an onion one, and I tried the header, Stevie's header on it, on the new mod. It didn't work. I tried the onion one, and it worked fine with the complete mod. And then I put it onto yeah, it is grown in water. I don't know how it's done on this one. And then I tried it on Stevie's one, and it worked with Stevie's as well. So I thought I'd just turn that off. So that was pretty good. So we could use the Stevie one with the bigger capacity and use those headers. Now the other problem is those headers on that mod, they all come with a standard colour. You couldn't change the colour at all, and they're all red. And since you needed one for each crop, it was pretty hard to differentiate between which header is required for what crop. So I went in and I grabbed Stevie's little thing about adding colours, added it into that mod. So now we got the ability to do everything except for rice. And we can colour code the headers for each crop and use the Stevie one for it. Works fine.